Amidst its worsening standoff with China, Japan is now preparing to send missiles to the Philippines. According to reports in the Japanese media, the move could mark one of Japan's most far-reaching defense exports, since it imposed some strict weapons transfer rules decades ago. The missiles reportedly under consideration are Japan's Type 3 medium-range surface-to-air missiles, the same one that Japan plans to deploy on its Yonaguni Island that is located just 110 kilometers from Taiwan. China has already called the deployment to be extremely dangerous, and with this latest development, Japan is also taking a step that could further irritate Beijing. Japan has reportedly held informal talks with Manila, and a formal study of the exports will begin once Tokyo scraps its restrictions on defense equipment sales. A policy change is expected sometime next year. The Type 3 missile is a truck-mounted air defense system that has a range of about 50 kilometers. It is designed to intercept aircraft and cruise missiles, and Philippine officials have already expressed interest in acquiring it. Separately, the potential sale comes as Manila is facing growing pressure from the Chinese forces in the South China Sea and sits on the first island chain just 140 kilometers from Taiwan. All of this is happening as Tokyo is moving to rewrite its 3 principles on defense exports, rules that have heavily restricted weapon sales since at least 1967. The current guidelines allow only 5 categories of defense equipment to be exported. That is rescue, transport, warning, surveillance and mine sweeping. But Japan has been steadily expanding its military role. In October, the newly elected Japanese Prime Minister Sane Takaichi had said that she will raise the defense spending to 2% of the Japanese GDP by as early as March next year. That is 2 years ahead of schedule. And Tokyo and Manila have also deepened their military ties. A new defense pact now allows the Japanese troops to deploy in the Philippines. For the first time since the end of the Second World War, the two nations have already held joint military drills with the United States, including a 5-day exercise in Cebu. And this has got China very worried, with Beijing repeatedly warning against Japan's growing military footprint in the region. Remember last month we told you as to how Tokyo's deployment of the Type 3 missile in Yonaguni and the export of the Patriot interceptors to the United States had irked Beijing, with China calling both moves to be extremely dangerous for many years. Now, Beijing has accused Japan's right wing of trying to abandon its pacifist constitution and to build a more assertive military. The prospect of missile exports to the Philippines is likely to intensify the frayed tensions.